Hello everyone, this is Trevor, and today I'm constipated. As if. My bowels are working quite fine, thank you very much. As is my mouth, but they're one and the same. So hello everybody, we're playing Chivalry Medieval Warfare today. And I'm going to teach you awesome people how to play with Le Quarterstaff. Now, as you can see, this is quite the funsy doodle weapon. Whoopsie daisies. Huh. Oh, he's gonna kill me, isn't he? He might, I don't know. Ah! Why aren't you dead yet?
My apologies.
Ah! No, 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 no. This is really... Oh! Oh, it was great! Oh, that was fantastic. I'm sorry, that got really heated, guys. Guapo is a good chivalry player. Whew. Well, as you saw there, the Quarterstaff is a beast of a weapon. Here's some stats for you. Don't believe the stats for this weapon, though. The speed is good. The damage is good in terms of stats. The range stat, though, is completely lying to you.
No way! No!
Gotcha face, Guapo! That was awesome. So as you can see, this is such a fun weapon to use, right? You can just fling it around like it's a staff. But the damage and speed stats, those are correct. And as you can see, the speed's very, very good for this kind of weapon. The damage blows. Terrible, terrible damage. But the reach kind of is lying. It doesn't have nearly that reach.
Oh, sorry.
What are you... You gonna... Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes? You want to fight? Okay, whatever. Well, while he's dilly-dallying. So, this weapon's speed, insane in terms of man-at-arm. Even in terms of man-at-arm weapons.
Yes.
It's only a couple % different from the broadsword. And it's just such a damn good weapon. In my opinion. It's a very, very... It's a fun weapon. Ooh! Hoping that range wouldn't get me. This guy really likes ducking.
It was an accident.
Finally, goddamn. Okay, as I was saying, this weapon, it's a fun weapon. It's one of those fun weapons, right? It's kind of like a flail or maybe even kind of like the bearded axe. It's just fun to use. I don't see a lot of competitive chivalry players using it because it doesn't specifically counter anything or it doesn't like beast anything else. But it's really fun to just whack people because it's so fast and so big. And if you use your man-at-arms speed to your advantage, you can absolutely devour with this thing, as you just saw me do. Some people with this weapon, they destroy. They just murder with it. They own. I may not be one of those people necessarily because I don't use it too much, but it's such a fun weapon. Now, so in terms of the range, and in terms of stats in general, I just want to do this quick PSA. Statistics, like the percentages and whatnot, I show you guys at the beginning of my tactics videos, they are not always completely true. They're not the best indicator of like specific weapon comparative damage. And what I mean by that is that what I mean by that is, if I look at the Quarterstaff, 79 speed, and broadsword, 82 speed, well, what do I know from that? What does that tell me? That doesn't tell me shit. It tells me the broadsword's a little bit faster, but nothing else. And I'm going to tell you guys that's okay as a metric. What the fuck? How'd you get there? Die, bitch. I really hate archers. Fucking finally. Okay, as I was saying, what does this tell me? 82% speed, 79%? It doesn't tell me shit. It just tells me the broadsword's a little bit faster, right? And that's all I really need to know, to say the least. If you want to look at exact numbers and stuff, there is a table that'll tell you the exact damage and speed values of all these weapons. But I don't want to bog you guys down with all those numbers. I want to just give you a relative approach to it. So, back to the actual quarterstaff. Given a relative approach to the statistics, we can kind of tell that... Whoa! We can tell that it is a tiny bit slower than the broadsword, and I would say it is. Having used the broadsword extensively, I can definitely tell the quarterstaff is just slightly slower, and the damage is definitely quite a bit lower. The damage on the quarterstaff is not that high, right? Now the range on it, as I said, the range is quite broken. I mean, the statistic range.
I agree.
The range, like 77% range, this thing does not have nearly that kind of range. It has very... Ah! He exploded. It has very good range, but not 77% range, right? I would say its range is sort of on par with something like the War Axe. So just kind of mediocre range. I don't know why they got this number wrong, but it is so wrong. It's got good range, but not that good. And it's not a stat that I would rely on. I would definitely rely on its speed, however. Oh, shit, shit, shit.
Oh,
Oh! And that is its fault, I suppose. The fact that it doesn't have an extremely good range. And this is a common issue with most men-at-arms weapons. You can rely quite tacitly. You can rely pretty much fully on the speed of a weapon. But once it comes to the point that you find yourself having to rely on the range, you usually end up screwing yourself over. Now that was a very specific situation. Let me take your head. He had tried to sideswipe with a spear, which is not a very good idea, because the range is meh when you sideswipe. And I went up and face-hugged him, and I boned him in doing so. So with this weapon, as with most men-at-arms weapons, face-hug is the name of the game. Thank you, sir, for your head. Ba-boom. So, I hope you guys realize, this weapon, it's not particularly good against any one playstyle, any one class or anything. Okay. But it is a fun weapon, and if you practice enough with it, it is a pretty viable thing for high-level duel play. I don't know about competitive play. When I say things like competitive chivalry players or high-level duel players, I mean, if someone like... I consider myself, at the very least, a high-level chivalry player, right? Anyone above rank 30, 35 is, I would probably consider a high-ranking chivalry player. Greedy King, motherfucking high-ranking chivalry player. However, I don't know if I'd consider myself, or Greedy King, a competitive-level chivalry player, right? I was competitive level for a little while, then I kind of let myself fall off the wagon. But I know a lot of competitive chivalry players, and by competitive I mean people who regularly compete in tournaments and stuff like that. And they are pretty much at the height of the chivalry skill ladder. And the point of that is the people who use I will not give the light of day to any archer, I'm sorry. And the point of that is when I tell you guys a weapon is used by competitive chivalry players or not, that should just be an indicator, well, what kind of potential does this weapon have? And in terms of the Quarterstaff, I don't see any competitive level chivalry players using it, really. I know quite a few. I mean, if you use it and you think you're very skilled, that's fantastic, right? I mean, use what works for you, right? When you get into competitive chivalry play, however, there's a certain subset of weapons that you're going to have to use to stay competitive, though. Oh, I guess that's all I'm going to get. That's okay. This weapon, it's got a pretty limited set of abilities. I guess I should give you some limited tactics. There aren't many tactics, so to speak, to use with it. You might have seen early on I did sort of a twirl-around combo with it. Essentially 2 side swipes with the Quarterstaff. Made that happen. I use overheads with it quite a bit. The thing you want to do with this weapon is you want to just keep hitting them because the damage is low. That damage is pretty accurate, right? So you want to keep hitting them. And the best way to do that is keep trying to hit them. So jump around them, dodge a lot, keep an eye on your stamina, but also just keep whacking them, right? Oh, wow, that was fast. I'll keep talking into the next game. I won't shortchange you guys. So you want to just keep hitting them, right? And in fact, I might give you guys maybe one more duel with him, 1 or 2 more duels, just to show you guys what I mean. You want to be very aggressive with this weapon. Oh, great, Guapo, again. Okay. You want to be very aggressive. Aggressive is the name of the game with this thing. So don't be too defensive. You want to use that range, or lack of range. Whoa there, Mr. Danax. Use your dodging capabilities. Only get defensive when your stamina runs low.
I think not. Yes.
Ow.
No.
Oh, shit. So, as you saw, I was being very aggressive, but he was using a longer weapon. He had that poke ability, right? And, again, the one drawback out of its 3 main stats is its reach, right? It's the functional drawback. Damage, I don't consider damage a functional drawback if you're a skilled enough player. As you can see, I'm barely missing him most of the time. Okay, this is when you pull out your secondary. Yep, that's the kind of thing. And I should be telling you guys this in more videos, in more tactics videos. If you fight someone who is using a weapon that you just kind of can't defeat given your primary, go to your secondary. Don't... I made this mistake when I was a competitive chivalry player, actually. I would try to stick to my gun, stick to my primary weapon, when I knew I couldn't beat the opponent with it. A dagger is pretty much the perfect counter for any primary that you might face.
Nope.
Like this kind of thing. Much faster. You see? This is a very good counter for this kind of playstyle. Ooh! Ah! Ooh! My head. I guess he did disagree. It is the perfect counter. I was just a little bit cocky at that point. Let's try one more. Guapo is a very good player. I'll give him that, and he's higher rank. But don't try to use rank as the only indicator. So, you just want to keep swinging this weapon, right? Keep dealing that damage. Get up close. Use your dodges strategically. There you go. Just keep up the hits, right? If you need to be defensive, get a little bit defensive. But as you saw against Guapo, you can't survive for too long if you're defensive with this weapon because it doesn't have the reach necessary to backtrack and strike at the same time. So you just need to keep hitting, right? Keep that momentum going, okay? I'm going to try that here. fuck. Now, you see, I'm too used to having the kind of range necessary to rip us stay. Ugh, shitballs. And also, despite this weapon being really, really fast, it can't keep up with things like the Norse sword or the broadsword, which are shorter than it, but which have more speed. So you need to find the right balance with this weapon. You see, it's so difficult to get very analytical with this kind of weapon. Because... you see? Because it's more for fun, in my opinion, and you really just can't use it as a, as much of a high-level competitive sort of weapon. It's fun, though. I'll give you that, right? You can break skulls with a friggin' staff. Who doesn't want to do that? That's awesome. At least I think so. So, a little bit of an overview. Stats-wise, don't listen to the reach. The reach is completely off. This thing does not have that kind of reach. Its reach is kind of shitty, actually. It's decent, but it's not good enough to, I think, even beat a broadsword out, honestly. So don't try to rely on the reach. Do rely on the speed, but be very careful. If you're fighting an objectively better weapon, by that I mean a weapon that is just plain statistically better, numerically better, don't be afraid to swap out weapons. This is a fun weapon, okay? And if you want to just have fun, go for it. I'm more of the mind that I'm having fun when I'm winning, so I go for the more numerically superior weapons. But if you like the quarterstaff, you want to run around with a staff and break skulls, by all means, be my guest. Reach is the real downside here. Damage also kind of shitty, but if you want to have fun with it, go for it, by all means. Use speed to your advantage. Be aggressive as much as possible. Combo when possible. Use momentum. I think that's about it. I know this is a bit of a jumbled up tactics video, but I hope I taught you guys something throughout the course of it. More awesome stuff coming soon. Like, favorite, subscribe if I taught you something. Share it if you loved it and if you have friends who might love it. And please comment with any suggestions, any questions. And I will see you fine people later. As always, have a good day. See you guys next time.